Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is all about animal products in the fashion industry and animal rights and how we use the skins and furs and feathers of animals in fashion design and what that means. I decided to do this because when people think of ethical fashion, the first thing they think of is fur is murder, sort of veganism, and also because it's been in the news a lot lately. A lot of massive brands have implemented a total ban on real fur in their collections, which is amazing. So we've had Gucci, we've had Michael Kors, we've had Versace, we've had John Galliano, Tom Ford, endless. It's also been in the news that a lot of fast fashion brands, high street brands, have been advertising real fur products as faux fur. And that's because the price has dropped so much that they're actually saving money that way. Real fur is cheaper than faux fur now, and obviously that's brought up a lot of ethical issues as well. So I just wanted to sort of dispense the conversation from fur just a little bit, because we often don't think about the other animal products that are in our clothes. Maybe because they're not as cute as the fluffy bunnies and fluffy foxes and things like that, but leather is a huge element of the fashion industry. We also have wool and cashmere. We don't think about things like that. Snake skin, crocodile skin, silk, the list goes on, and we also have dyes and chemicals and all sorts of different products that are extracted from animals as well. Before I kind of launch in a little bit more, I just wanted to mention about the anti-fur protests that have been happening over the past few fashion weeks. So whenever I go to London Fashion Week, you sort of, as you go into the showrooms as a member of the press or as a blogger or as a guest at a fashion show, you get lynched literally by protesters, and these are from PETA or sort of similar organisations. And it's great that they're protesting, and I'm all for protest, but it's in such a non-peaceful way that it's actually getting out of hand. I've been spat at, fake blood is thrown at people, just screaming at us and saying that we should be ashamed of being part of the cogs in the wheel of the fashion industry. Now the thing is, most designers are not using real fur now, especially in London. Most British fashion designers, it's just not part of our culture to wear real fur, really. And also the British Fashion Council has said recently that 90% of their designers don't use real fur. So it's kind of like, why are they pouring their effort into this and not actually approaching the designers directly that do use real fur? And why are they targeting influencers or press or guests rather than the actual people who hold the power and make the decisions, the stakeholders, the rich white men in boardrooms? I just wanted to say that because it does get quite upsetting and quite exhausting, especially when you are, like me, a really proud believer in not using fur in ethical fashion. It gets very frustrating. So just wanted to kind of get that out of the way first. You might have your own views about that, so please let me know in the comments, because I would like to, you know, have a conversation with people that do go on these protests and what they think is making a difference about that. Another issue I just wanted to bring up within this topic was the debate around whether it's ethical or not to wear second-hand or vintage animal products, so furs, leathers, that kind of thing. Obviously this completely depends on your own personal ethics. For me, I don't have a problem with it, but the argument is that wearing real furs and leathers, even if they're not brand new and not adding to production, to new production, that you're creating demand somehow and that other consumers will see that, and it creates a ripple effect, which I kind of see, but personally I don't have a problem with it. I really love buying vintage leather jackets and things like that. And you could also make the same argument as to, oh, it's unethical to wear fake fur or fake leather because that looks like the real thing and therefore it's creating demand. But again, this might change in 10 years time. It might be really unfashionable and really gauche to wear things that look like animal products, especially with the rise of veganism and things like that. So who knows? It's up to you. It's up to your personal ethics. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you wear secondhand leather? Would you buy a vintage fur jacket? Just let me know. Moving on to the more positive things, I couldn't do a video on this topic without bringing up Stella McCartney. I adore Stella McCartney. She's a British fashion designer, and since day one of her brand, she has refused to use any animal products in her designs and her collections. So no leather, no fur, no feathers, no wool or cashmere or silk, absolutely nothing from the body of an animal. And I think that's really amazing because she has a huge influence worldwide. She's one of the UK's biggest luxury fashion brands. And yeah, hopefully her presence and her influence will inspire other brands, and it seems to have already, with, like I was mentioning before, all these brands banning fur now, so I do feel like the movement is going forward. Additionally, we have a lot of amazing innovators who are creating fabrics that are completely cruelty-free but also great for the environment, because the problem with faux furs and faux leathers is that they are often made from polyester, made from plastics, crude oils, so they don't biodegrade and they take a lot of energy to make, so they're actually really non-sustainable. But luckily there are some great alternatives which I'll sort of whiz through here. First up we have Pinatex, which is a really popular company right now because they make pineapple leather, so they make a leather-like textile that's really durable and looks great, but it's from pineapple waste. Another similar one is Mycoworks, and they make mushroom leather, and it looks pretty realistic. Another one is banana fibre. This is really popular right now, made from banana leaves, a beautiful textile. Then we have Modern Meadows, which is a biotech lab, so they're actually growing leather from stem cells and creating it from scratch, so no actual raw materials are going in there, which is really, really exciting. And another similar one is the Fashion Tech Lab, which are doing bio fur, so it's sort of like growing a fur, so it works in the same way. This is a really great example of when science and the arts come together, because if we want to solve the problems in the fashion industry, of which there are a lot, we need to work with other industries. We can't just live in a bubble. It needs to be cross-disciplinary, so working with science, this is really important, and it's something that was brought up a lot during Fashion Revolution Week this year. So I'm really excited to see where these developments take us. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments your views on this very complex and contentious issue, but hopefully we can start a conversation here. Thanks for watching, and please remember to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.